Lincoln Day in Hingham is a terrific town tradition. I think it's roughly 45 years old every year since the 80s, I guess, that honors both Benjamin Lincoln, the Major General in the Continental Army, who was Washington's second in command, who was born and lived his life here in Hingham, and also Abraham Lincoln, of course, who has that direct tie back here to our community. The original settlers of Hingham came primarily from East Anglia in England, from the town of Hingham on the east coast of southeast England. And many of them were Lincolns, members of the Lincoln family. And as they proliferated here in Hingham, I understand that there was a time in the early 18th century when something like 35 or 40% of the people in the town of Hingham were named Lincoln.
Well, Benjamin Lincoln is Hingham's own Revolutionary War hero. He was one of the several major generals under George Washington in the Continental Army, and was in fact the only one of them to be present at all three major campaigns of the Revolutionary War: Saratoga, Charleston, and Yorktown. He is nationally known as the general who accepted Lord Cornwallis's sword of surrender at Yorktown.
Lincoln's genealogical connections to Hingham descended from Samuel Lincoln, who was one of the first settlers here in Hingham and had actually come from Hingham, England. The speaker was Ed Acorn, who gave a terrific presentation. He has two books on Lincoln. One is on the second inaugural address, no doubt the best speech that Lincoln ever gave, and the other about the Republican convention in 1860 that nominated Lincoln for president over William Seward, who was the prohibitive favorite. He calls it the Lincoln miracle.
He had turned out to be the candidate who was as bitterly opposed to slavery as Seward, but the delegates had no real idea of Lincoln's greatness, of the political savvy, moral courage, humanity, pragmatism, literary brilliance, and powers of endurance that would soon prove crucial to the nation's survival.
Lincoln was an extraordinary, complicated human being. He had the force of character, the willpower, the intelligence, the political skills, the flair for the English language that was desperately needed to win that war and keep this country together. And he's the one who originated, I think, the idea that this war was about slavery. It wasn't about anything else. It was about the great sin of slavery, and we had to fight, go through this horrible experience to finally get rid of slavery and move forward.
The delegates also thought his rags to riches story, from a log cabin to the White House, would appeal to voters.
Obviously, that's the American story of people coming to this new world and really struggling and suffering. And I think the strain of American courage and persistence runs right through Hingham and right through his personality.